Hey Shreyansh, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing very well.
Early morning for you today,
Yeah,
right? What time do you wake up usually?
around this time only, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How's it going? How is it after getting your UCEED result? How does it feel?
I mean, like, yeah, the result came at 12 in the night, and I didn't sleep that night. So it was like
I know
something
it.
out of the world, I guess.
Yeah, I know. No, you worked so much for it, and then you get the result. And it's all India rank one in a general category. Then that's something that you would have celebrated, I'm sure,
Yes, yes, definitely.
right? Your parents would be happy.
Yeah, very happy.
Cool. So did they always wanted you to go for design, or did you have to convince them?
Not really. So I was a JE student till the middle of 11th grade.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so I was going to Fiji. I
Okay.
was taking classes there, and like I was doing pretty well. Like not to say myself, but I
Hmm.
was doing pretty well there. But I did. I was doing design on the side since ninth grade in my
Okay.
school club. So like
Okay.
I was the 3D designer of my club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I've been doing this since ninth grade, but didn't really expect it to be a career path. Then I discovered like UCEED and NID, and then foreign like
Hmm.
colleges, and that's
Right.
when I think like in the 11th grade when you're actually discovering your like life and all. That's when I like realized, okay, I can do this in life.
When is it that
Yeah,
you felt that this is something that I can pursue?
I think it was the April of 2023. Like 11th was 2023, right? Yeah.
Okay.
2023
So what
April.
made you take that decision? Was there something that happened? Yeah, or any conversation that you had?
So what I think happened is that at that time we were making like this short film, completely animated, for my club, and I was the one leading it.
Okay.
So I think that was when like I realized, okay, I really want to do this in life now.
That's nice. Which school did you go to?
DPS Arkipuram.
DBS Akipuram. Oh, you're from Delhi.
Yeah, yeah, I'm from Delhi.
Oh, nice. So, take me through that journey, no? What happened, and once you decided, okay, this is something that you really wanted to do, then you probably did some research on uh, what is the exam all about, right?
Yeah. So see, the thing is, at the beginning it was like, okay, so this is something I can do.
Hmm.
Let's just try it out. So I just tried out UC 2024 ka paper. I didn't even know that NID existed at
Hmm.
that time. Like it
Hmm.
was just okay, IIT, that is
Yeah.
easy to convince.
Right.
Right? So let's try doing this,
uh,
and I scored pretty well for like a first time
okay.
in the part A. I didn't try part B because I knew my drawing was very bad.
Hmm.
So I just tried out part A, and I was doing quite well.
Hmm.
And then like I researched more. I was leaning towards foreign in the beginning, but
Hmm.
then I decided against it. Okay,
Hmm.
let's do this later on in life, maybe in masters if I want to. So let's stay
What
in
was
India.
the decision point? Where, like, what made you decide that okay, maybe for masters, not now?
I mean, like, I think my mom wanted me to stay in India too, and like, it might be a bit hard to get a lot of scholarship there. So
Hmm.
like, I didn't want to try the seeing like my friends who are already applying for foreign, like not for design, but the
Hmm.
BTech वगैरह.
Hmm.
So like
Yeah.
seeing them, I was like, okay, this is too much of a hassle for me.
Hmm.
I'm good at studies. I think I can do UC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So when you decided, okay, this is something that I can do, uh,
Yes.
and seems like a interesting path, then how did you start the preparation? Because it's not something that you see, class में सब लोग यही कर रहे हैं ऐसा नहीं होता.
हाँ, yeah. So yeah, I think it was mostly self study. Like I analyzed the PYQs,
Hmm.
could say, yeah, like
Hmm.
I found out what all is coming in the exam, and honestly, I don't think that really helped because 2025 ka UCEED paper was very different.
Yeah. So how was
And
that?
then
How was your experience then?
see, I was kind of shocked while giving the exam because I felt like okay, I'm probably doing something wrong because this should not be this easy.
Yeah.
I felt during the exam that the paper was a bit too easy compared to like 2024 or 2023.
Hmm. Okay.
and the GK especially. But fortunately, like during the time of like May June, I had like this GK epiphany. Like I need to do GK,
Hmm.
and like I did a lot of stuff at that time.
Okay. Like, what did you do
Yeah,
for GK?
like I did like so again, I just found my own resources. I looked at a lot of YouTube channels,
Hmm.
like just whatever popped up on my feed. So I did art history, I did geography, I did history at that time,
Hmm.
and it kind of just sticked in my mind, and and the
Yeah.
questions just came from there only. So
Can you recall any YouTube channels that have helped you?
I can recall the video.
Okay. Maybe you
uh,
can let me know later, and then I can
yeah,
add
yeah,
it
I'll
in the
let you know later.
descriptions. Yeah. That'll be helpful for the aspirants who are preparing.
Yes, yes, I'll let you know later.
Great. And also, like, yeah, we were talking about the preparation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what strategy did you use? Like, how did you do it?
Okay, so mainly it was PYQs. The
Hmm.
first thing was like knowing every single PYQ.
Hmm.
Then after that, I realized that there are no UCEED books available.
Hmm.
Like if anyone is claiming to have UCEED material, they're lying because it's not good. So I was just like scrounging everywhere. Not
True.
UCEED, I was scrounging for JEE, I was scrounging for any exam, just general
Hmm.
mind teasers altogether.
Hmm.
एंड देन उससे लाइक कहीं से कोई दो क्वेश्चन लिए, दो क्वेश्चन कहीं और से कर लिए, लाइक
Hmm.
दैट वाज बेसिकली माय प्लान ऑल अलोंग.
Hmm.
uh I'm gonna be honest, like I'm not sure how I like actually studied for part A, because I was always confident for part A.
Hmm.
My visualization capacity like had been good before
Hmm.
I started prep. Like I
Hmm.
realized that. So I was mainly focused on practicing for the part B.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you also please tell us the marks that you've scored in part A and part B?
So part A I got 178 on 200,
Hmm.
and part B was 52 on 100.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Nice. And what was the breakdown for the three sections in part A?
So my NIT was all correct, 56 and 56.
O-
And I got only one question that I left. I left one question in MSQ. So
Okay.
that was the only place I left lost marks in MSQ.
Okay.
And MCQ I got three incorrects, and I left one question.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that's what I did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you pretty much nailed all the parts of
Yes.
it, right? Yeah, pretty much nailed
Yes.
everything. Cool. So, to be so sure in the exam, specifically, let's say NATs, and MSQs. MCQ, you still have, let's say, okay, I can still take the risk,
Yes. Yes.
but with NATs, you do not. And MSQs also, it's kind of confusing which one to go for, which one not to go for.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the strategy for each part of this, like the exam. So
Hmm.
NAT, how did you approach? How did you prepare for it?
Okay, for NET, it was always that you just read the question and always look at the last part first. Like I always look at the last part first. Like what are you asking for?
Hmm.
And then you start reading this starting again.
Okay.
So that always helped me. I'm not sure
Hmm.
if it helps everyone.
Hmm.
And I found NET the easiest. I don't know why.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
people generally find NET the hardest, but it was
Okay.
the easiest section for me. So I used to do
Okay.
it first.
Okay.
That used to just get me in the right mind, like right state of mind for the exam.
Okay.
क्योंकि it's mainly like I always found MSQ to be the hardest because हमेशा partial हो जाता था मेरा. I never used to score full marks in MSQ.
Okay.
Yeah, so doing NAT first got me the right state of mind, and then wait,
Hmm.
doing the question, always read the last part first.
Hmm.
And I used to paper पे तो you can highlight, but when it's on the screen, like just write down the key points, like whatever numbers are important.
Hmm.
वो पढ़ते पढ़ते like experience से you can understand, okay, so this number is important and this number is gonna come into play later on in the question.
Hmm.
That you can get like only when you're practicing like a lot. So
Yeah.
write down the question, like write down the stuff that you know, okay, this is gonna be the first thing you're gonna need.
Hmm.
So I used to write those down,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
just the numbers, and like have a mental note in my mind, okay, so I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna
So
need that.
basically, you're scraping information from the question and taking
Yeah.
down the important information that is there so that you can, process it later on while you solve it.
Yes.
Hmm. Interesting. So what happened if you, let's say, you read a question, you took the information, you noted it down, and then you feel like, अरे यार ये तो नहीं हो रहा अभी.
Just skip it. Like you don't have enough time. Like if you're not able to solve a question in 40 seconds, like if you don't know how to solve a question in 40 seconds, skip it for now.
Right. 40 seconds is a good timeline that I
Yeah.
see that you have.
Yeah.
Right. Now, let me do a small demonstration of it. Okay. Not for the timeline, but for the information that you say that, okay, we can scrape the information, right? So I have
Mhm.
your UCEED ka paper here. Can you see the screen here?
Yeah, I can.
You can, right? So let's
Yeah.
say, which section is it? Wait. Yeah. So part A, it's NATs, right? For
Yeah.
example, pick any question.
Okay, let's question 5 can be good, I think.
Okay.
Okay, this is a visualization question. So as you can see, you're first supposed to find out the sum of the number of vertices. That's the first thing you see.
Hmm.
Sum of number of vertices and the number of edges in the solid.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I see, okay, so I did not know what chamfered mean during the exam.
Okay. All
So I
right.
figured that out using the figure given.
Okay. Okay.
So you're supposed to do that.
Hmm.
So the number of vertices. So before reading the number of edges, I just calculated the number of edges
Hmm.
as the number of vertices
Yeah.
before saying the number of edges written in the question. I just calculated the number of vertices directly in the question,
Okay.
and that was like, okay, so it's a triangle. So three. There are 12 vertices in a cube. 12 into
Right.
3, 36.
Right.
Then I saw, okay, so it's a tetrahedral in the center for every single face. So that's
Hmm.
four vertices. Again,
R-
six faces.
Right.
It's simply like 60. That just came in the top of my mind. मैंने
Hmm.
लिखा भी नहीं अभी तक कुछ भी.
Hmm.
And then number of edges.
Hmm.
I again like वो भी मैंने दिमाग में calculate कर लिया.
Right.
I don't know why, but like this just happened very fast.
Right.
And then again, I went down to paper and then फिर अच्छे से like multiply करके लिख के I
Hmm.
calculated. उससे
Right.
हुआ.
So basically, it's the. I think you were so used to solving these kind of questions, or let's say you were
Yeah.
because you trained your mind to think in that direction, right?
Yeah.
It-
I think another thing that helped me because like I have been doing Olympiad since like first grade. like
That's
जो
the superpower that you had.
स्कूल में like जो स्कूल में एसओएफ होते थे सिल्वर जोन ओलंपियाड जो
Right.
होते थे आई बीन डूइंग देम सिंस फर्स्ट ग्रेड एंड देन 7th 8th तक आते आते like I was doing Olympiads like the actual Olympiads too.
Oh, nice,
So I
nice.
think that helped my brain to like comprehend stuff very
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. So I think interpretation, the data interpretation, and then processing,
Yeah.
and then oh, okay, all right, okay, all right. So that's the secret sauce, you could say here,
Yeah, maybe. And then
maybe.
also like I've learned abacus too like for
Hmm.
4 years, so my
Okay,
calculations are also pretty fast.
that's nice. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So, and what about the let's say MSQs? Let's go to MSQs, or let's say when you come to questions like this,
Okay, so I don't have a pen right now, but my
huh?
superpower used to be a pen. I just
Okay,
used to cover one side of the screen
huh?
with the pen, like, okay, this is my line.
Huh?
I'm gonna count everything till the left of this.
Huh?
ठीक है.
Okay.
वो काउंट कर लिया मैंने, उसको लिख लिया मैंने.
Huh?
देन एक सेकंड पेन लेता था,
Hmm.
उसको मैं लाइक स्क्रीन के थोड़ा सा राइट साइड में रखता था. नाउ आई
Huh?
एम गोना काउंट द नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स इन द सेंटर.
Okay.
नाउ आई एम गोना काउंट द थिंग्स टू द राइट.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I'll remove the pen and I'll
Huh?
count the things on the pen.
Oh, nice.
That's what I used to do, and it
Okay.
used to work 95% of the times.
Okay.
कभी कभी वो गड़बड़ इस वाले क्वेश्चन में वो गड़बड़ किया था मेरे साथ
Acha.
एक दो बार क्योंकि
Acha.
दिस इज लाइक अ बिट टू लाइक ज्यादा haphazard सा,
Hmm.
बट इट यूज्ड टू वर्क इन मोस्ट क्वेश्चंस.
Hmm.
इसको फिर मैंने मैनुअली काउंट कर करके लाइक दिस वाज द लक, ये लकीली सही हो गया था मेरा
Acha.
क्वेश्चन. या
Nice.
आई वाज नॉट श्योर अबाउट दिस क्वेश्चन.
Interesting. Interesting. So, did you freak out when you were like, "No, I'm not really sure about this"?
And no, I did not freak out
You did not freak out.
because I was confident about the other 13 questions.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting. Now comes the another nightmare for students, where you say that okay, यार ये भी सही लग रहा है, ये भी सही लग रहा है, ये भी सही लग रहा है. So how do you deal with that?
So I just used to go like every piece by piece.
Okay.
उठा के लाइक मैं रख लेता था कि ओके इसका मैं अगेन यूजिंग द पेन लाइक पेन को अगर मैं स्क्रीन के बिल्कुल चिपका के रख रहा हूँ, सो व्हाट्स द लेंथ दैट्स हर साइड का, एंड देन उसको उसी से कंपेयर करके. because they didn't used to scale it up or down, right? It's always
Hmm.
the same side. So you
Yeah.
can generally use the pen as a like a pen. Scale तो allowed नहीं है.
Huh.
अगर scale allowed होता तो exact measuring कर सकते हो.
Yeah, I think that would have been like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. I used to do that for PYQs when I did not know कि अच्छा scale तो allowed ही नहीं exam के अंदर. उसके बाद में
Hmm.
करना पड़ा था.
Right. And when you let's say questions like where you see which one is true or not, right? So this is a
Hmm.
little more than what you would do in your usual UCEED exam, right? This is not your visualization. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
right. This is a little different. So how do you go about these type of questions?
I mean, studying about them, I don't think you can study about them. Just
Hmm.
keep looking at stuff. Like, if you're browsing social media, I used to browse Reddit a lot, but I had like a very like informational subs on
Hmm.
my feed,
Hmm.
along with memes, of course. Like, of course, I need memes, but
Definitely.
I did have a lot of like good subreddits on it, which
Huh.
used to give me like random information from everywhere.
Hmm.
At one point, my YouTube feed was just Veritas AM and like other like things like that. Like that was
Uh-huh.
all I was watching on YouTube at one point.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that gave me a lot of information.
Hmm.
Actually, watching this also helps you in part B, especially for product design.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if
Absolutely.
you like watching channels like these, it's very good.
Hmm.
You should definitely watch.
Definitely. Yeah. That
Yeah.
definitely helps. Yes. And this again, like no brainers, I guess, for
Yeah,
this.
this was
Yeah.
pretty straightforward too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. This was
kind of easy
straightforward.
question.
Interesting question here. Puzzle, right? Puzzle questions or where you have okay
Huh.
patterns and stuff.
So in my
So,
first go around, I did
huh,
this question wrong.
okay.
When I was checking the paper again for
Huh.
this third time,
Okay.
that's when I realized, okay, all four pieces are not correct.
So third time you were checking. I'm now thinking how much time did it take to complete the whole paper in the
75
first?
minutes I was done the first time.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had like 45 minutes left for to check.
Right. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. So where did you go wrong with this?
I marked all four options for the first time. All
Okay.
four looked right to me.
Hmm. Okay.
Because like generally when I saw, I did not see like things being कि like okay the angle is wrong this time. It's generally
Hmm.
like the piece का position is wrong.
Hmm.
Angles बहुत कम मैंने wrong देखे हैं.
Hmm.
इसके अंदर the angle of the pieces are wrong.
Hmm. Yeah. I I saw this paper and I also felt like okay, this question I think somewhat they changed from the previous ones.
Yeah,
Yeah. And visualization part of it here, right?
yeah.
These kind of
This is just
questions.
visualization. I think doing
Yeah.
3D for like 3 years helped a lot in this for
Yeah.
me.
I think for you, everything that you've been doing all through your life actually culminated into
Yeah,
this, and
yeah.
this was more like, everything was fitting into a puzzle, right?
Probably like I actually like have my parents to thank for that.
Yeah,
Okay, like thank you for making me do all this random stuff all my life.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that it all worked out, and you've been doing so many things while you were doing your schoolwork and all. So
Yeah.
DPS Arkipuram is basically what your CBSE, right?
Yes, it's CBSE.
So yeah, I've also done CBSE, and I really don't think everybody is this explorative as you were all throughout this.
No, school does not help in this at all.
Yeah.
Like that's one complaint I have with school. Your school
Hmm.
does not help you in anything like this,
Hmm.
unless you have a club.
That's
Unless you have like a great club like mine.
yeah, right. So which club are you talking about here?
Also, we have a computer club. It's called Exen Clan.
Okay.
Right. So I was the president this year for that.
Okay.
So I was managing the club too, along with school.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
So how did you manage time with preparation, with your
I have
boards?
absolutely no idea. Okay, so for boards, I can say you, I did not study for boards till 21st January. 19th January was UCEED. I started prepping for boards on 21st January.
What are you saying? Come on.
I no, I'll be completely honest. I did not start studying for boards before UCEED. I was completely focused on UCEED and NID.
That's
For 12th, in 12th, in 12th. I was studying
insane.
entirely in 11th. मैं फिर भी जा रहा था, मैं स्कूल भी जा रहा था. 11th May design was kind of on a back burner. Like I wasn't focusing on GAT, especially in 11th. I
Uh,
was doing drawing,
mm,
but not GAT in 11th. 12th
mm.
May, school studies completely aside.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
my percentage dropped like 25 points.
Oh, crazy. Okay. So your parents
Yeah.
were okay with that?
Yeah, they were okay with that because I was doing well in design.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your school, did they have any pressure or put any pressure on you?
I think the teachers knew that I'll do well in boards
Mm,
because like
mm,
I had that good impression in the beginning because beginning may like I had done a few of the chapters pehle in 11th, so
mm.
I scored well in the big starting exam. So the teachers knew okay this guy can do boards mein.
So when you say you scored well, how much did you score?
In 12th or in 11th.
11th, let's say, last.
11th mein I scored very well. I was in 95%, like amazing
Oh,
scores.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Okay.
11th mein I was studying a lot.
And starting in 12th?
At 12th May, I dropped to like 80s, and then half yearly pre boards May, it was in like the 65, 70s range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you had to be okay with not performing well at school to concentrate on these exams and then
Yeah.
take it up again after your UCEED was over, right?
Yeah. So like the practicals were especially hard for me because
Hmm.
it was right before UCEED, and I was given studying like the board practicals itself. So like I was
Hmm.
kind of banking, okay, let the examiner be good, please.
I know. So many things to play, right? So many things to consider.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a lot of pressure on you also to, balance all of these things. Plus, you have these extracurricular stuff going on. So I think you were really enjoying the process of preparing for design.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, I finally have something to do for myself. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was like kind of a stress burden, honestly.
Hmm.
Like just sitting down and just drawing.
Right.
Yeah.
So sitting down and drawing, now we talk about, let's say, MCQs also now, and
Hmm.
then we'll go to drawing part of it because I also want to talk about part B and how you thought about it. So MCQs में क्या था? Like I think we should go back to the question paper here and see what was there for MCQs. We'll just pick up one question and see.
I'll be honest, MCQs were a little controversial this year.
Yes, I've been hearing that quite a lot, and I've seen that question paper myself.
I was
Yes.
expecting at least three questions to get to go either bonus or like have two answers, but
Hmm.
they didn't
Yeah.
change anything.
Hmm. Let's talk about those questions. Which
Okay,
one was
so
this?
if you scroll down,
Yeah.
okay, so one was question number 35. I saw a lot of people giving like different examples for these.
Hmm.
It was about palindromes, like the words have to be palindromes, and the answer was C for this. I got this question right, but I
Hmm.
saw people like giving valid reasonings for option A too,
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
and I was expecting UC to give A as an answer,
Okay.
but they did
Okay.
not. They did not change anything this year in the answer key.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Why do you think that could be the reason?
I have no idea. See, after like seeing the paper, I was expecting, okay, are they like deciding to merge NID and UC into one examination? Like, why is the paper getting easier?
Okay, so here's something that I also noticed, and I've been okay. Let's go back. I'll show you one. Lota, right? So this is have you, if in all of you listeners, if you haven't read the India report by Charles Eames, Ray and Charles Eames, they were the ones who established NID. Okay, so should go to NID's website and check the about NID and the history of NID, who established NID, how it came to being. This Lota philosophy is discussed there. It is submitted by Ray and Charles Eames to the government of India that the Lota has evolved because they traveled extensively across India. They went through the craftspersons and everything. They studied everything and they submitted a report. That report mentions Lota philosophy because it has evolved through generations. So, this particular question about something that is in an ID,
Yeah,
right, suggests big hints to how
exactly.
is what I felt, my opinion, not an official thing, but my
Yeah, of
opinion
course.
as to how this could be taken forward in the future, right? And it's also surprising, also interesting to see that you also mentioned the same. And Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it'll be
because
interesting
like
to see.
people were saying that NID ka paper was also a bit part A was difficult than previous years.
Yeah,
Like it was slightly up than
yeah.
previous years, and UCEED was slightly down than previous
Mm,
years. So
mm,
I was
mm,
like,
mm,
okay, are they merging the levels and making
mm,
a streamlined thing? I'm not
mm.
sure. I'm just
Yeah,
spitballing at this point.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But it's interesting because these kind of questions were there. If you look at, let's say, 2015, 2014, 13 NID question papers, masters and bachelors, you'd see
Hmm.
some similarities with the
Yeah.
GK specifically, the kind of questions that they've asked. So interesting, interesting patterns and changes and trends.
Yeah. Okay, another,
But
I see another controversial question. Question number 8. So
question
38. Question
38,
number
right?
38, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, all right.
So
Hmm.
the font one, I got this question wrong.
Okay.
And I put this for like getting it reevaluated, like my answer should be correct, but they did not change it.
I mean, what do you want, man?
I mean, yeah, but like I was like, okay, why not? Why not? At this point, why not?
मतलब you're already there at the top. Like यार ये question मेरा correct है. Crazy. Good, good. And another question. Third one was
One more, the painting one.
Leonardo. Yes.
40, 41, 41.
40. Yeah, 41. Right.
Yeah.
So you need to hang a large rectangular picture frame on a wall in an empty room to ensure that it is vertical and not tilted. Which of the following help you to hang the picture correctly, not tilted?
Yeah, so the answer that they gave was option C.
Flexible and
Right.
transparent
And
pipe.
I was expecting that, okay, option A also makes sense and it should be more convenient to do.
Yeah.
Ki, like making, like doing it with water, like you can spill water, that doesn't seem very convenient.
Hmm.
But the answer is A. But the answer is given C only. So the
Yeah.
only justification I found while
Hmm.
discussing it with my father was if
Hmm.
the floor itself is tilted,
Hmm.
option A will not work. But option C should work
Hmm.
in like at least in formula.
Hmm.
Not sure
Good.
though. Like we haven't tried this practically, so
Okay. So one more thing that I can think of. Have you seen camera stands,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
tripods?
yeah. The tripods.
They have a balancer.
Yeah,
You
they
see
have a
that?
bubble on the
Yeah.
top. Yeah,
Why do you think they have it? It's to check if it's straight
yeah,
or not, right?
yeah, yeah.
So you have to balance that bubble in that two vertical lines that
Hmm.
you see, and it should be in the center.
Hmm.
So anything here could only thing that could indicate us that it is not tilted is a mug of water.
Yeah.
That's what
Like
I
that
can
is the
think of.
only explanation I found for
Yeah,
option C.
yeah,
Otherwise, I was okay. Option A has to make sense because if the floor itself is tilted, then why are you living there?
yeah, yeah. So that is the I mean that's the only thing that helps you identify that okay, it's not
Hmm.
tilted or something. That's something that I can think of right now. But interesting, interesting. So anything else that you felt like okay, why is this here? Why is this question here?
The Lota one, I was definitely like, why is the Lota question there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Other than that, I think like there was way too much geography than they should have asked.
yeah, yeah.
Fortunately, like ninth grade and seventh grade, Shreyansh like remembered all of this stuff happily, so I didn't get them wrong. But it still felt very out of place. Like, why is this there?
Yeah, yeah. Interesting paper, interesting paper. I mean,
Yeah,
they're trying to check everything other than, calculations and stuff. Like heavy influence of mathematics is not really there this time,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I say
So,
like that is like the one takeaway from this paper for like future aspirants. Like,
hmm,
study everything, don't leave anything. Any
yeah,
subject, जितना भी होता है 10th grade तक, 11th grade तक, actually like you should study at least.
right, yeah. And now let's talk about the part B. Like, what did you
Hmm.
prepare? Now, the questions are there, yes, but how did you prepare for it? Drawing is not something, it's not structured.
Yes. So see, I started preparing for drawing in like August of 23 till
Okay.
March of 24. I was just doing basics, like not solving any questions for like 6 7 months. I was drawing 4 to 5 hours a day, just doing practicing the basics, object study, humans, animals,
Hmm.
shading, color pencils, perspective, anything.
Hmm.
I just did the basics. अच्छे से बिल्कुल.
Hmm.
My drawing was still not good, but at
Hmm.
least I had everything clear in my mind and I could visualize shapes now.
Hmm.
After perspective, especially like if you are able to do perspective
Hmm.
easily, so फिर your object study will become so much better because
Hmm.
you understand how like spheres work, how sorry not spheres, how circles work in
Hmm.
perspective.
Hmm.
That is like the one thing I'd say like it's good if you want to make
Right.
your drawings better.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like
So quite a focus on. Did you also do any live sketching as part of your
I did
practice?
not do live sketching till like September of 24.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
so I started attempting questions in around April of
Hmm.
24.
Hmm.
But again, I was mainly focusing on just doing whatever felt right to me at that point and like whatever I felt was weak.
Hmm.
कि वो मैं ज़्यादा कर रहा था एंड डिज़ाइन कॉन्सेप्ट्स आई स्टार्ट लाइक लोगो एंड लोगोज एंड अदर जो भी आता है उसके अंदर स्टोरी बोर्डिंग कॉमिक
Hmm. Hmm.
वो सब आई वाज डूइंग इन दिस टाइम लाइक अप्रैल टू सितंबर वाला टाइम आई वाज डूइंग दैट
Hmm.
स्टिल नो लाइक पर्टिकुलरली क्वेश्चंस एग्जैक्टली कि ओके आई एम डूइंग पीवाईक्यूज नाउ अच्छे से देन
Okay.
सितंबर टू अक्टूबर मिड तक आई फिनिश ऑल पीवाईक्यूज
Okay. All
लाइक
right.
लाइक अच्छे से बैठ के मैंने करे अक्टूबर नवंबर मिड तक आई वाज डूइंग पीवाईक्यूज एंड देन नवंबर तक आई वाज बिजी विद क्लब टू सो लाइक काम चल रहा था नवंबर में आई गॉट कम्प्लीटली फ्री हमारा इवेंट हो गया आई वाज डन कि मैंने बोल दिया स्कूल में अब मैं स्कूल नहीं आ रहा हूँ so now
Okay.
I was sitting at home like 4 days 5 days a week and then
Huh.
just doing drawing 7 hours a day 7 to 8 hours a day I was just sketching
Right.
yeah this is the time like I'd say like my drawing genuinely improved
Hmm.
and I did a lot of PYQs I did so many mock tests like itna mota mera file hai mock test ka I think I
Okay.
still have it I'll see
Okay. Okay.
okay you know what I'll get it
Go get it. Go get
yeah
it.
I'll get it.
Yes.
So these are just mock tests
Oh, perfect. Wow. All
in
right.
like a span of 2 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
That's
it was like
crazy.
a lot at this point, and this is like all three: UCEED, NID, NIFT,
That's
तीनों
amazing.
के mocks.
You know what? If possible, can we have that preparation material also shared for free download for students? Is that possible? Let's
Whatever
see.
I have, I'll
Hmm.
send.
Sure.
Right.
It's just to help the other, the next
Mm-hmm.
generation. And they're like, यार
Yeah.
श्रेयांश ने share किया था. you know.
नहीं, नहीं, I'll send
So
whatever I find.
definitely.
Yeah.
So your bad sketches that you make now 7 to 8 hours a day, or let's say even 5 hours a day, sketching is not easy because I've seen through that. I've also lived through that as part of my curriculum, my preparation, etc., etc. It's frustrating,
It is. It
right?
is.
I've torn away pages. I've thrown away sketchbooks, right? I'm sure you would have had phases also where you were
Okay, so
like,
I have
yeah,
not
but
thrown away sketchbooks yet. I have
huh.
quit. I have quit midway. Like it's like I've started doing a question. I'm like I don't like this. I'm
Hmm.
skipping to the next question. I have done
Hmm.
that in the middle of paper, like mock tests too.
Hmm.
कि मैंने एक बार हुआ था 7 क्वेश्चंस थे मॉक टेस्ट में मैंने 2 करे एंड मैंने छोड़ दिया वो मॉक टेस्ट एंड आई जस्ट गॉट दोस 2 क्वेश्चंस का फीडबैक बस हो गया मेरा
Okay. So
दैट डिड हैपन
dealing with that is a task. Okay.
आई जस्ट यूज्ड टू स्विच टू जीके
Acha.
जब भी वो
Okay.
होता था लाइक आई
हाँ.
कांट ड्रॉ एनी मोर
हाँ.
मैं आई ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू कैरी लूसेंट का बुक विद मी
Hmm.
I think everyone has that book. If you
Hmm.
don't, you should buy it. Like it's sort of frustrating reading that small font and it has
Hmm.
too much information.
Yeah.
But if you know how to sort through stuff,
Hmm.
it's a good book.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, how did you sort through that book?
I think it's again like my life experience. I've been reading books all my life.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Cool.
Like you can see.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, coming back to your drawing, like, okay, now even if you're not drawing, like, so not solving questions or anything, and you feel like, okay, this is not working out, this is not something, I visualize something and I'm not drawing that,
Hmm.
right? So there's a gap between the skill and what you visualize, right? So how did you go about that?
A
Like,
reference. Always take references.
hmm,
Yeah, like whenever you think you cannot draw this, that's what I said. When I was mastering basics, that was what
hmm,
I was doing, because it's like someone would recommend me a post. Like in school, I would just ask people, okay, tell me what a person should be doing right now.
hmm,
ठीक है, like I that's all I used to ask my friend at one point.
hmm.
Whenever in the free periods, of course, we used to
Yeah.
gossip a lot. Don't think I was drawing in school.
Right.
I did not like drawing in school at all. People used to bug me all the time, like standing on top of my shoulder. I hated drawing in school. So I just used to ask people what I should draw, and then घर आके मैं draw कर देता था आराम से, या
Hmm.
class में जाके draw कर देता था मैं आराम से.
Hmm. Interesting. Any
Yeah.
particular exercises you did for, let's say, like you said, you were focusing on basics and everything, but anything other than this that you did for sketching?
Okay, for shading especially,
Hmm.
for if you want to do tonal studies,
Huh.
take a picture,
Hmm.
make it in color pencils first.
Yeah.
ठीक है, एग्जैक्ट कॉपी करो,
Hmm.
एंड देन इससे तुम्हारा कलर पेंसिल का प्रैक्टिस हो गया फॉर एनिफ्ट.
Hmm.
देन सेम को विदाउट यूजिंग अ ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट फिल्टर
Hmm.
कन्वर्ट पेंसिल्स से बनाओ.
Hmm.
Then
Interesting.
like use your phone, put a black and white filter on the your picture of color pencils and see if you're able to nail it or not.
Oh, nice. Interesting.
So don't use the reference for the black and white picture. Use the color pencil का जो तुमने बनाया है
Hmm.
for the black and white picture.
Hmm.
So like that helps you visualize the your tones more, in
Tones.
my
Yeah.
opinion at least.
Interesting. And how about the textures?
Textures.
Hmm.
Okay, I think doing questions for that is the best. Like just try
Hmm.
animal skins, वगैरह थोड़ा थोड़ा.
Hmm.
And again, why like just find online references, thoda sa,
Hmm.
and then again find colored references, please.
Hmm.
I'll
Okay.
say that. Don't
Okay.
use black and white references,
Hmm.
in my opinion, because when you use a black and white reference, you're thinking very flatly. Like in my
Hmm.
opinion, it's like I used to think very flatly for everything. Like everything has to be dark. Like I used
Hmm.
to think shadows are always dark.
Hmm. Yeah.
Shadows are not always dark. Shadows can be lighter than the like the highlight of another
Hmm.
object.
Yeah.
Like, that can happen. I never used to think that way when shading in the beginning.
Hmm. Okay.
So if
Interesting.
you take color references, I think that helps a lot.
Interesting. Interesting. Good suggestions. I think also good for their uh, visualization as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good suggestion. And what about the thought process for second question of your
Okay, so if we're
article?
talking about just product design,
Hmm.
I'll give you a cheat code.
Okay.
Open Kickstarter and browse through the products. Like genuinely,
Good
just
one.
open
Good one. Good
open
one.
Kickstarter. Like that's what I used to do. I was always banking. I'm just hoping ये question आ जाए. मैं same छाप के आ जाऊंगा.
Good one.
Because they have such amazing and creative ideas there, and most of them are not feasible. If
Hmm.
you look for actual products online, you'll never draw them in the paper because they're too simple.
Right.
And sometimes they're usable. Okay, you should draw this.
Hmm.
They are asking for simple, but generally सबको लगता है ना कि थोड़ा सा कॉन्वोल्यूटेड बनाना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा
Yeah.
वो तुम्हें किकस्टार्टर पे ही मिलेगा.
Right.
मैं
Hmm.
किकस्टार्टर यूज करता, I like the way it worked.
Hmm.
And उसपे so first you see the thing, and
Hmm.
then you try to, like अगर तुम पेपर में होते and you had thought of this product, how
Hmm.
would you show it? इसको
Hmm.
तुम like you draw that on a paper, on a sheet of paper.
Hmm.
And then like product study ka, you have your centerpiece, and then you show either the exploded
Absolutely.
view or the like
Yeah.
the detailing part वो सब. So you show that on paper too. Don't just leave it in mid-air कि बस तुमने product देख लिया and then हो गया हमारा काम.
Right.
I didn't do that. I have like 15-20 sheets of just products ka,
Hmm.
yeah, how you were supposed to show a product.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Good suggestion, and also keeps you on top of the know-how of what are the kind of
Yeah.
problems that are being solved right now
Yeah.
in the industry, and
Also new tech. You get to
yeah,
see new tech.
absolutely new tech, and it's all keeping yourself updated.
Hmm.
Because what I'm seeing from your journey is that you've had like different explorations and different times in different directions also. So
Yeah.
it's a lot more to do with exploratory stuff and less of just design. It's not that. it's a combination of a lot of things, and that sort of actually increases your understanding of design and other things as well.
Yeah.
So interesting. And for your product design and second part of second question of part B, uh, how did you go about the process of solving a question in the exam?
Okay, so let's take this year's question only, where you have to
Hmm.
draw the chair.
Right. Yeah.
So, इसमें the main focus was portability.
Yeah.
I think like when I discussed with my friends and all, I think a lot of them missed on that aspect that it has to be portable,
Hmm.
and that अगर तुमने इसे एक बार खोल लिया है तो वो
Hmm.
वापस बंद भी हो जाना चाहिए.
हाँ.
Like whatever my friends made,
Hmm.
like a lot of them, उनका it was कि okay, it's very portable in the beginning, like जब तुम लेके जा
Hmm.
रहे हो, but when once it's opened,
हाँ.
it just stays there.
Right.
Like
Okay.
people made inflatable things. People तो तुम
Hmm.
inflate कर दिया तो उसको deflate करने के लिए like क्या तुम vacuum pump थोड़ी लेके जाओगे साथ में,
Hmm.
right? So think about that. So first thing was portability. So I was like magnets.
Hmm.
उसमें feasibility it was okay. It has to be somewhat feasible, but I think you can थोड़ा सा bend कर सकते हो rules. I
Hmm.
don't know my mark distribution whether they gave me more points in question 1 or question 2.
Hmm.
So it's possible that I got way more marks in question 1 than question 2. So don't
Hmm.
trust me on that. But mine was a bit less feasible.
Hmm.
My solution. So
Hmm.
I basically thought कि okay, wood is bit light. बहुत
Hmm.
ज़्यादा भारी नहीं होता. Like metal जितना तो भारी नहीं होगा.
Hmm.
So I made like this ऐसा cross सा चार ऐसे जो जो like ऐसे जुड़ जाते हैं ऐसे.
Hmm.
You take 4 pieces of the wood
Right.
and then वो ऐसे जुड़ जाते हैं.
Okay.
ठीक है, and then I gave some extra supporting pieces too.
Okay.
एंड देन ऊपर उनके मैग्नेट्स लगे हुए हैं जो
Okay.
ऐसे रोलिंग सीट है वो ऊपर
Right.
ऐसे चिपक जाती है बस.
Okay. Okay.
सो नाउ
Interesting.
देन सी व्हेन आई मेड दिस एंड आई केम बैक होम आई वाज लाइक that is not going to work. I realized like it had a huge design flaw. It's not
Yeah.
going to work. It's just going to topple as soon as you sit on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they gave me marks on that or not, but that is what I thought.
Hmm. 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 But I think the idea of magnets is interesting here, and also the
Yeah.
portability aspect of it. Yes.
So it was very portable. Like it was like one tube that you can just sit on your back.
Hmm.
Like that's what I thought.
Interesting. So, out of all of this, right? Yeah. So, out of all of this, right? Your preparation, your questions that you've solved, everything. Now, this was for UCEED, let's say. Okay.
Hmm.
Right. Now, was there anything different that you did for other exams?
Okay, so let's यूसीड का the questions जो थे मैंने नवंबर से पहले नहीं करे थे.
Acha. Okay.
मैं नवंबर से पहले एनआईडी के क्वेश्चन ज्यादा कर रहा था बिकॉज
Hmm.
आई वाज मोर स्केर्ड फॉर एनआईडी का पार्ट बी
Okay.
देन यूसीड का पार्ट बी. यूसीड में चलो कॉम्पोजिशन आना है ये तो कर लेंगे. एनआईडी में दे हैड सच अ वेराइटी, कुछ भी आ सकता है.
Yeah.
लाइक सो माय फेवरेट थिंग वाज स्टोरी टेलिंग. Like the
Interesting.
story writing was my favorite questions. I
Interesting.
used to read a lot on Pinterest.
Hmm.
Pinterest पे like if you are able to make a good feed for yourselves, तुम फिक्शन सर्च करोगे तो नहीं आएगा. आई हैव
Hmm.
ट्राइड दैट. ठीक है,
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा तुम्हें डिग अराउंड करना पड़ेगा बट देर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अमेजिंग राइटर्स ऑन पिंटरेस्ट.
Hmm.
एंड आई यूज टू रीड अ लॉट ऑफ शॉर्ट स्टोरीज, इवन लाइक लॉन्ग स्टोरीज
Hmm.
उसमें से. एंड देन आई यूज टू लाइक गेट आइडियाज फॉर फ्रॉम दैट फॉर बोथ कॉमिक्स, स्टोरी बोर्डिंग, स्टोरी राइटिंग. मैं सबका आइडिया वहीं से मैं डिराइव करता था.
Very
Like I
nice.
realized कि like thinking of original stories is very hard,
Hmm.
especially in the short span of time. Like कि
Right.
तुम्हें 5 मिनट के अंदर सोचना ही सोचना है.
Hmm.
तो 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so 5 minutes के अंदर सोचना is very hard
Hmm.
for the paper. So I used to think कि okay, in words से related मैंने और क्या क्या पढ़ा हुआ है.
Hmm.
What vibe is coming. I used to just write down the words that I chose.
Hmm.
अगर words वाला जो question आता था कि write a
Ah.
story from 3 of these
Right.
words.
Right.
So whatever words I think कि okay, I can make something from this. I
Hmm.
just used to write those words and words related to that next to it.
Hmm.
Generally mental notes ही करता था मैं. लिखना का
Okay.
कम. Like people say ना, like they made thumbnails, they made
Yeah.
a lot of like mind maps वगैरह on paper. I
Hmm.
didn't do that a lot, honestly.
Right.
मैं दिमाग में करता था वो.
Okay.
Not recommending it for anyone. Like
Yeah.
अपना अपने हिसाब से देखो whatever works for you.
Hmm.
And उसमें फिर जो भी like made sense to me कि ये मैंने पढ़ा हुआ है पहले से,
Hmm.
Let's see if I can think of something cool on those regards.
Hmm.
And people used to like those stories, so I was like, okay, I'm doing well then.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And when you're practicing for this, right, all the other exams and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so was there a mindset shift that was required?
No, not for part B.
Hmm. Part B
I,
was
I
pretty much similar.
Part B should be the same.
Hmm.
Because I don't think you should rely solely on product design for question number two. They can ask anything.
Yeah, exactly.
they have not specified that they'll ask product in the syllabus. So
Yeah.
don't say think कि तेरे पास product आएगा पता चले कभी interaction का question दे दे logo वगैरह बनवा ले तुमसे.
Hmm.
So practice everything.
Yeah. And when all through this process, was there anything that you realized ki, Arey, I've been doing this wrong all the time? And why did I not realize this late before?
Okay, so I think what I realized was I think a lot of people say this कि drawing is not that important.
Yeah,
But I think drawing is important. Like
very
that's what I
important.
realized. I realized drawing is important. You should be good at drawing.
Hmm.
Because लोग कहते हैं कि बस तुम्हारा आइडिया होना चाहिए तुम्हें मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे. Like I am in a lot of I am in like Discord servers. I have browsed the Reddit. I saw a few Telegram pages my friends sent me. I'm like
Hmm.
I left the Telegram pages. It was too annoying for me. Like the people were crying a lot on those pages. But
Right.
yeah, so people say that drawing is not important. In
Hmm.
my opinion, you should be able to depict your ideas easily.
Hmm.
If you have an amazing idea but you're spending 40 minutes to depict that on paper, that
Yeah.
is not worth, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hmm.
You
Makes
should
sense.
spend time refining your fine art skills.
Hmm. Makes sense. So, how much time would you dedicate to each question when you solve like design questions or composition questions?
30-30,
30
exactly.
minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Even for practice? You did that?
For practice, I spent a lot longer.
Hmm. Okay.
See, always used to put a time limit only when I'm doing mocks. That's why I have so much mocks.
Okay.
Because when I'm just practicing, I could not be bothered to put a timer.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it was just not possible for me to put a timer. It was always key. मैं over जा ही रहा था. I was always 45 minutes on the composition if I'm not
Hmm.
doing it during a paper.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'd say like if you don't have mock tests, then just if you have questions, just make a mock test from it. Get your parents to make a mock test from them.
Hmm.
And like उनसे बोल दो like take one question from here, take one question from there. इसका मेरे को बना के दे दो आप.
Hmm.
And so that you don't look at the questions beforehand.
And if you want to suggest like a few things that the next generation, your next batch of aspirants should do, must, what are those things?
I think the first thing I've said already that don't leave
Sorry.
anything.
Yeah.
सब पढ़ लेना. For drawing, I'd say practice 6-7 hours a day. Like
Hmm.
अगर तुम्हें top rank में जाना है, IIT बॉम्बे वगैरह जाना है तो कर लो.
Yeah.
Especially if you're bad at it.
Hmm.
I was pretty bad at drawing in the beginning. मेरी सीधी line भी नहीं खींचती थी.
Hmm.
हाँ.
You worked your way then
Yeah.
quite a bit. Yeah.
I'd say like I had some sort of a design sense, like in quotes.
Hmm.
But paper पे drawing was hard. And
Hmm.
see, after drawing, it did help me in my design too. Like जो
Right.
मैं अब digital art जो पहले करता था,
Hmm.
it seems so bad now. Like after
Hmm.
like I've done the fundamentals वगैरह of drawing, it seems so bad कि ये बहुत गंदा है.
Right.
मैंने उसे पोस्ट भी नहीं करा, मैं हटा दिया उसे पोस्ट से. पहले पोस्ट कर रखा था वो सब.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
And any piece of last piece of advice that you would give to the aspirants?
Um, don't don't like be scared. I'd say like if you see someone doing better work,
Hmm.
don't be scared of them. You can do better than them. Like I like I मेरे like जो दोस्त है उनकी drawing में से बहुत better है.
Hmm. So it's easier said than done, though.
Yeah, like it is easier said than done. Like I think like मेरा हमेशा से nature ही ऐसा रहा है is to be like yeah you do you I do mine.
Hmm. That's a good
It's
attitude to
like
have.
I'm not sure. Like I think my life has always been like this or something. It's hard to give advice like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I think this was sort of developed all through your journey that you didn't really have to consciously do it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think consciously doing it, it takes a lot of like effort to okay, now I have to focus on what I want to do and
Okay, one
look at
advice,
those
one
things.
advice.
Yeah.
I do have one advice, very, very good advice.
Yeah.
Don't just focus on one exam. ठीक
Okay.
है? Even if you're like, even on just design,
Hmm.
सिर्फ design पे focus मत करो. It's
Hmm.
good if
Hmm.
you study थोड़ा थोड़ा of some other exams too, because वहाँ का knowledge will help you.
Hmm.
Like I'd say, studying for JEE in 11th helped me a lot, especially physics.
Okay.
Physics helped me so much in design,
Hmm.
especially UCEED. क्योंकि thinking of the mechanisms for product, thinking of like how things work,
Hmm.
like it can help you a lot.
Hmm.
That
Interesting.
is something I'd say.
Nice, nice. Cool. Was wonderful talking to you, Shreyansh. And I think this episode will definitely be helpful for the next batch of aspirants. And congratulations again for securing All India Rank 1 in UCEED
Thank you so
2025.
much.
It was a pleasure having a conversation. And all the best to you as you look forward to going to IIT Bombay.
Yes, thank you.